Oh well, just had a pleasant night. Pleasant night. Just had a pleasant night in the hotel. Okay, so we're back on the motorway. We've just been rolling. Well, I've been at work for an hour and a half, but it took a long time to get loaded. But we're back on the motorway. We're heading out of town. And you may notice that there's some additional junk in my cab. You've got this little fella here, you got that thing there, and you got that thing up there. That's a forward facing camera, okay? So that's going all the time as far as I'm aware. And that would have been really handy last night when that fucking numpty was brake checking me. And this thing there with the red dots, I don't know what that is. And that thing there, apparently it's recording all the time, and it's recording what's going on in the cab. Alright, so those fucking assholes that are smoking cigarettes in here, or worse, they're going to get busted and fucked up the ass and chucked out of the firm, which is good because we don't need that shit going on in here. But the other weird thing is, and one of the boys was telling me that it actually measures how many times you blink. And if your blinks are too oh, nice way to go, big red machine. Far out, new patch too. And if you blink too much and you blink too long, it thinks you're tired and having sleeps, and so it'll ring the boss and let him know that there could be an issue, and the boss will ring you up. So really, that's a pretty good idea. I'm actually quite taken with that, because that's just making it safer for me. And as long as I'm, as long as they, I don't envisage a problem with that. Where's that big red machine gone? I think the biggest problem that this technology leads itself onto is that we assume that the people at the other end of it that are manipulating and controlling it have a high moral and ethical grounding. And if you have a history as an activist and dealings with the law, well then quite often you know that it's not the case. So this could all easily be used to work against me, or to get rid of people they don't like by just manipulating data. And I know that they do that. So providing our authorities are not corrupt, which is, well, we'll say we just leave it at that, because we all know what the chance is there. I guess this looks pretty weird to you foreign folks that these trucks are rolling down the middle of the motorway. Well, it's sort of the general rule that it's sort of the unwritten rule that the right lane is for the faster guys, the middle lane is for the cruisers, and the left lane is for people wanting to get on and off the motorway. Now that's kind of the unwritten rule. It may not be the case, but that's how us truckies view it. That's why we're all rolling in the middle lane, so people can get on and off, and we don't have to worry about cars merging in on us and cutting us off and stuff like that. Alright, this is us. We're just cresting over the top of the Bombay Hill southbound. That land laid out in front of us is the Waikato. Pretty big dairy country over there. It's pretty much all they do, play rugby, have varsity girls and milk cows, if you like that sort of thing. No, it's Western Star. Man, it's a nice colour. These TAA guys, they're like super truckers, man. You don't try and keep up with them, because they got like big, crunny 600 plus rigs, or fully ungoverned. They just boogie. You can't catch up with those guys, man. When they come up behind you, you just get out of their way, because they fly, those kids. See, what you folks outside of New Zealand probably don't realise is that dairy farming is the most lucrative industry in New Zealand, and it's worth hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, and there's lots of very wealthy dairy farmers, extremely wealthy, probably more wealthier than anybody you've ever seen. And this is a pretty good demonstration of the level of decadence these guys display. Can any of you recognize what kind of car that is up there? That's a Rolls-Royce car wrecking plant. These dairy farmers, they make a lot of money. There's not many junkyards that just specialise in Rolls-Royce, but there was one back there, living proof. You saw it first. There's some beef growing away. Not a barn in sight. And not a bucket of meal or whatever it is you feed him. Probably for 10 miles in any direction. That's why you really need to get involved with that Pacific trade deal, because if you want to get the best food that the world can create, come and talk to us, mate. Our farmers will give you all the best meat that you could ever taste, and our crop farmers will give you all the best fruit and vegetables that you could ever hope for, and I'll truck them for you, mate. So it's a win-win deal. You get the best feed you've ever had in your life, and I get a job. Nice looking man. Right here. Hey, whoa, nice car, look at that. And that's the Waikato River. Well, this is the bypass route through Hamilton. It's the biggest city in the Waikato. And, you know, quite an industrial little place. I don't know how many people live here. I'd probably say 300,000 at a guess, maybe more. There's a big university here, very good one. And a very good law school here. There's a big Ministry of Agriculture and Fishery Research Development, whatever you call it, thing here. I don't know. I used to go out with a chick from here when I was in the army. I've got a lot of very good memories of this. Well, hello interwebbers. We're missioning along. This is that's Lake Taupo over there. Still on State Highway 1 over there. Just boogieing along in the middle of the night. What's the time? 10 to 11. And so it's Midnight Confessions, early. The early edition, because I'll probably change my mind by midnight. I've got a crush on a movie star, and it's a mile long. In fact, I've got a crush on 2 movie stars. One of them is Sandra Bullock, and who wouldn't, because she's like the hottest MILF in the universe. And the other one remains a closely guarded secret. I don't know. But anyway, that's my midnight confession. I've got a thing for a movie star, 2 movie stars. One movie star and one other chick, and but I know that's all it is, and I know that it'll never amount to anything, and I'm pretty happy about that. It's nice to have something pretty to think about. I think that's the whole point of movie stars, isn't it? You know, isn't that what they're all about? I mean, back in the day when they were like Greta Garbo and Marlene Dietrich and chicks like that, you know, wasn't the whole point of those girls just to give people something pretty to think about? You know, weren't they all what do they call them? Pin-up girls? You know, they weren't pornographic, but they were scantily clad. I'd say risque or seductive in their poses. And you know, wasn't the whole point of those girls just to give lonely men something nice to think about? And I think if you sign up to be a movie star, well, you sort of inherit that. Goes with your public profile, I suppose. Any really nice person with a high profile will attract admirers. So I admire some movie star chicks, but I'm very aware that I'm a Kiwi truck driver with a history with the law, and chances of me getting off this rock are pretty fucking slim, but it doesn't stop me from believing that one day I can. Anyway, that's it for tonight. That's a wrap. Midnight Confessions, a movie star admissions, and our mainframe subtitled trucker brothers out there. Big shout out to however those subtitles turned up on that thing. I'm going to have to check the other ones to see if there's subtitles on them. But anyway, to all those people that are watching these things, and it appears to be more and more every day, big shout out to you and respect. I don't know, half of you might be police looking for incriminating evidence, and the other half are probably psychologists looking for a new set of golf clubs. But if there's any genuine people that watch these vlogs and actually get any kind of enjoyment out of them, well, I really appreciate your support. And really all they are is a visual diary. I'm sure once the novelty of owning this GoPro wears off, I'll get sick of it and I won't do it again. But in the meantime, sharing a bit of love around, loving the trucking. If you ever want to get a good job, mate, trucking is the one. It is like the bomb job. I couldn't do anything else. I'll be trucking for the rest of my life. I just love it. I'm hanging out for the day when I'm actually living in a truck. That's why I want to go to America. I actually want to drive from Miami to Alaska. And if your geography is good, and I'm sure for all you fellas it is, you'll know that that's going to take you about a week, and it's not because you got a slow truck. Anyway, have a nice day. Nice talking to you. I'll catch you on the next one.